Natalie, whenever you're ready.
Okay. Hi, I'm Natalie, and I'm refuting Stephen's claim that renewable energy systems have the ability to replace fossil fuels now. His two secondary claims were that renewable energy is cost-effective in today's world and that renewable energy has extremely low pollution rates compared to fossil fuels. I'm going to prove that his claim is completely invalid because it first, his misleading generalization in the first subclaim, and that his secondary claim is completely irrelevant to proving his point. So his first subclaim is a misgeneralization because he uses a personal example about how his father installed 2,100 solar panels for a large company, which would end up saving them millions of dollars. This seems great, but it's completely atypical, since Sempra Energy, a large California-based international energy company, says that the average American home can only support about 10 to 20 solar panels. So how can you compare 10 to 20 solar panels to over 2,100? Since, the American households cannot have this many solar panels because they don't have the capital to purchase them or set them up. So he's giving us false hope of saving this much money. And to support this further, SolarBuzz, a leading research group in solar energy and technology, states that if your average electricity rate is 20 cents per kilowatt hour and your installed cost was $4 per watt, then your payback time would be 15 to 20 years. That is the amount of time before you're seeing any money back from the solar panels at all. And Chris DeDecker, a writer/researcher for Low Tech magazine, says that the average life expectancy with consistent energy output is at maximum 25 years. So that is when you have to replace your solar panels because they're worn out, you're only getting about 10 to 7 years that you're getting this money from them. And that certainly is not going to be millions of dollars. So for Stephen to use this example that shows an atypical event to sway your opinion to his side is very misleading. Now for his second claim that renewable energy has extremely low pollution compared to fossil fuels, this does not advance his main claim that renewable energy systems have the ability to replace fossil fuels. This is just telling us a fact. He is using pathos and trying to guilt trip us to believe his claim. There is no data, evidence, or warrant attached to this that would further his point, making this secondary claim completely irrelevant. So I believe that I have proved that Stephen's claim is irrelevant to proving his point because of his first secondary claim being a misleading generalization and his secondary claim being irrelevant. Thank you.
All right, you label the structure very clearly. You go after the first argument directly by suggesting that the evidence that he presents is insufficient to reach this particular conclusion. You give us some information that shows that the life that it takes in order for us to recoup those costs is relatively small, and that we would have those cost savings for only a short period of time. It would be interesting to note, for instance, what the estimated costs in the future are going to be of electrical production, because that might even extend it further. So, for instance, if electrical costs go down because of other energy resources that are more efficient, then in fact investing now is really problematic because it could delay the return even to the 25-year threshold that you're talking about. I thought you explained that argument pretty well. On the second point, I'd have to hear the argument again in a little bit more detail. It does sound to me like you are saying that the argument is not relevant because it doesn't advance the effectiveness or the replaceability of the solar panels in this particular situation. I don't remember if the argument was about affordability or practicality, or if there were other advantages that were presented in the argument. If it's just about affordability or the ability to produce the electricity, and then all the stuff about pollution and all those kinds of things is in fact irrelevant, that seems like a reasonable conclusion to make at that point. All right, thank you.